Hey everybody, the Inky GI here, back again for another fixed bladed knife review. And I know you guys may be wanting to actually see some fixed blades recently, just because I've been mostly reviewing folding knives. But here we go. This is a GI Tanto from Cold Steel. It's a pretty cool knife, and I'll kind of show you a bit of it. First off, we got this sheath. I like this Secure-X sheath. Definitely half of that cool that the knife comes with. If this just came with a nylon sheath, the knife wouldn't be half as cool. Sometimes the sheath actually does make the purchase. Pretty simple. A one snap button closure just to open and close that knife. Let's stay on the sheath for right now. As you can see, kind of riveted together. You got tons of holes and slits for lanyard or any sort of use of tying to a bag or vest or something like that. No real molly, but you can just take some paracord and fix that up. As you can see, we got a belt loop here. Kind of cool with this belt loop, the fact that instead of just having a loop to put your belt through, it actually has Velcro and a snap button closure, just so that way you can click and quick detach or quick attach this knife to your belt. So that's pretty cool. Just a nice little feature. The nylon is not cheap. It's a fairly good quality nylon, so they didn't skimp out there. There's that snap button closure. As you can see, it is a friction lock, and you just try not to kill this tripod there. As you can see, the sheath just splits apart slightly, just for that use. Here we go. There's the GI Tanto. That's what you guys have been waiting to see. It's pretty kind of interesting in the design. You got that Cold Steel American Tanto, and it's definitely a very sharp point. This is a razor sharp blade right now. Came from factory edge, very sharp, and it's just kind of interesting looking in the blade design. This is very minimalist in its just kind of style. Here's this grip, not much texturing, just a good solid grip. If you want, you can take a Dremel tool and kind of put some texturing if you choose. But it feels good in the hand. You got this little space up here, which if you want, you can kind of choke up on the blade, do some fine detailed work, which is kind of cool to see, even though you got that handguard, and as long as you're not applying too much pressure, that doesn't really bite into you. Inverted grip is very nice, especially with that little ramp on the butt of the handle there, and it feels good in hand. You can use that for pommeling, or maybe as a glass breaker if needed. Obviously, it doesn't come to too much of a point, so we'd have to see how well that works. But it can't help pounding on something. Very solid blade, very thick. Not necessarily too thick, but I mean, it's good. A good thickness for a fixed blade. Definitely sturdy. You can take this bushwhacking, batoning, whatever you so desire. It's a very nice blade. It's very kind of subdued. The coating on it is different from that of the Cold Steel Kukri. The Cold Steel Kukri was more kind of a painted finish. This is actually a better finish. If you guys can kind of take a look at that. Yeah, there we go. There's a good look at that. Finally, for once, the camera chooses to focus correctly. And there you go. That handle is made out of the same good material that they use for their cheaper knives. If you want any specifications, go ahead and look at the description below. That's one thing I like about my videos personally is, if you want specifications, you can go look up on the internet. I mean, who's going to stop you unless you're really lazy? I have provided them below just for convenience use, but I don't really need to state it throughout the video. You can find the size and weight and blade style. No, not the blade style. Blade style is pretty obvious, but blade steel, etc. All those details you can find in the description below. For the use of this blade, like I was saying before, definitely a good batoning blade. Survival, wilderness survival use, and I can definitely see this in tactical use, especially with that Tanto tip. It's a good strong tip, good for piercing, and as you can see in all those Cold Steel videos, when he stabs it through the car hood. Quality of this blade, definitely very nice for, $20 knife, more or less, depending on where you buy it from. It's a very, just good construction, very solid knife. This isn't bending it under, just hands, and it just feels very, very sturdy, and it's got a very good quality. It'll definitely last through some abuse. The weight, the balance, the feel of it, overall, for a fixed blade, it's not bad. I mean, obviously for a fixed blade, you don't want something too heavy because you're not going to be able to, carry around too much. This is good. It's right in that good sweet spot, so it's not too heavy, not too light. The balance of it is, fairly knife. Fairly knife. Man, I've been spending too much time around knives, but I won't ever admit that. Balance right there at the crossguard right there, so that's pretty cool. And just the feel of the knife, like I was saying earlier, choke up on that blade a little bit, maybe even put your finger there, I don't know. Depends on how you like it. It just feels very, very good. Blade design, as I was saying before, Americanized Tanto, and you got, I believe, I don't know, I can't really tell. I'll have to add that in the description, I guess. Just the kind of convex of the edge. Steel I will have in the description below. If you care to look at that, that will be down there. So take a look at that. The handle and the guard, as I was saying before, it's fairly cheap, not in the bad way, just low value, I should say. It's good quality for what you get, but that's, at some points they gotta, take away some stuff to give you that price point. They could obviously make this a way better looking blade for, a couple more dollars, make this a $60 blade if they wanted to, and then, make it, pretty it up a little bit with a nice handle and a nice looking blade. But honestly, if you don't like the hard edges, they're nothing too much to mind. The sheath, like I was saying before, is definitely very cool. I like that hard nylon, Securex, Kydex kind of deal. Not Condura. Whoops, that's the wrong kind of sheath. Ignore that. Slip of the tongue. Anyways, competitive options. You got kind of the K-bar. You got, even as I've previously reviewed, the Gerber Prodigy, all for just a fixed blade, kind of survival, kind of tactical knife if you need. And overall, it's a very cool knife. It's got a good price point, $20. It's not going to break the bank. It could be one of those impulse buys that you're not going to feel bad about later. One, just because it's a cool knife, you're not going to feel bad about it. Two, because, it's definitely worth the money. For $20, this is more or less a steal. It may not be fancy, but this will get the job done. So, that's about it. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them in that comment section below. And as I stated before, go ahead and check out the specifications in the description if you so desire. And as always, I'm the Yankee GI. Thanks for watching, and have a nice day.